What is up, my fellow gamers? In today's video, we got our tier list for the different roles. Specifically, in this video, we are going over our tier list for point guards. Like and sub for more amazing gaming content. This is highly requested. People want me to do tier lists for each individual position, so we're gonna do it. I don't know what the deal is with tier lists, but man, you guys, whatever it is, people love tier lists. I don't understand why. I personally, I'm not a fan of tier lists. I don't know. I just like, it's just like, you know, it's always, you know, it's one person's opinion against another person's opinion. It's like, you know, whatever. It doesn't, I don't know. But you guys like it, so here we go. First one we got is Dame Dollar, Damian Lillard, Dame time. I'm going to go ahead. This is, I feel like this one's pretty obvious. Among all of the point guards, he is a well top tier S all the way at the top. Next one we got is the SGA Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He has a great name. I love his name. Great name. Still really amazing player though. I'm putting him in the A. What I would personally recommend is from my list, if you're looking for like which players are like good to use, I would recommend like the S's and the A's. I think are like, for me, like the best ones to choose and the best ones that I would personally play in like ranked modes and stuff like that. And I feel like the B's and the C's, they aren't that great. However, the B's are gonna be like good rares that I think that you know, you can get away with using as a free to play for a while in like the lower ranks. But once you do get to like higher ranks, those like B, you know, rare players, they're not going to be as good. You're definitely going to need to start switching over to at least the A's. Next one we got is Halliburton. I feel like he's one of the weaker ones. Not like the worst though. I'm not going to put him in the C. We are going to put him in the B. And he is an epic, which, you know, it's kind of surprising. You would think that the epics would typically be like, you know, decent. And you know, I would say he's decent, but I feel like he's not really good. Personally, I just didn't really like using him. Same thing with the next one, De'Aaron Fox. This is another one that I feel like isn't that great. I know there's some people out there who like him and they think like, you know, he's a great player. But I just don't think, like, his 3-point shooting is awful. His mid-range is what's the only thing that kind of saves him. And then, you know, he can kind of drive and dunk as well. But I've played with a lot of Foxes, you know, on my team, and they've done horrible. Of course, you're going to be like, well, they're not playing the character right. You know, you do have to have certain skill and know how to play the character. Anytime I've come across anyone playing as Fox, they've always performed really bad. I'm going to go ahead and putting him in the B next to Halliburton. Next one we got is LaMelo Ball. Now, this one is, you know, this one's a bit weird. He's good and not good. The shooting is good for his like 3-pointing, really good 3-pointer. But I think for me, I want to put him in like the B+, the A-. But I will say that once we get the effect in the game that we can go ahead and you can steal the passes or intercept the passes, he's definitely going to be easily an A+. Now I'm actually going to talk about that later today in my Market Watch tonight. I'm going to talk about some of the players that I suggest you invest in now, because once they implement that intercept pass ability, certain players are going to skyrocket and they're going to be a lot more valuable, because those players that are good now, but they have really bad passing, you're going to see people just, you know, intercept their passes, and it's going to completely change the game. But I'm going to talk about that later in the Market Watch. But I think LaMelo Ball, he's like an A-, B+ for me. I'm going to put him in the A towards the back. So all the other A's I'm going to put ahead of him. Next one we have is the rookie Steph Curry. This one I think is by far like the best if you're like free to play and you're like a brand new player. I'm gonna go ahead and putting him in the A. I don't think he's, you know, it's tough. I don't think he's quite better than SGA, but if you're like, you know, not spending money, this is gonna be your better option, because it's at least, you know, cheaper than SGA by a lot. And you can kind of max him out and you can use him in those top ranks. You know, very good player. Next one we got is Spencer Dinwiddie. This is another one that is pretty good early on when you're just starting off as a new player in those lower ranks for like rank mode. However, he definitely falls off once you kind of get to those higher ranks where people are playing higher ranked, like rank 5, rank 6 legendaries and epics that are good. It's tough for him to kind of compete with those. So I'm putting him in the B, but a decent pick early on as a new player. Next one is Jordan Poole. Pretty much it's the same thing with Spencer Dinwiddie. Very cheap, easy to max out. He's going to carry you a decent amount through those lower ranks, but eventually you're going to have to put him, away, and you're going to have to upgrade to one of these better, stronger players. But definitely a solid pick early on for new players. Russell is another one that I think is like a solid B. He's another one that you can kind of get away using early on as a new player in lower ranks, but he really falls off. He's got good, decent 3-point shooting. His mid-range is what I would consider average, but he's decent at passing. And like I said, passing is going to come in handy once we get that a feature to intercept passes. But other than that, nothing really great going on with him. But still, solid pick for lower ranks. We got Rose next. I think Rose is probably a really weak, underwhelming performer. I'm putting him in the C, one that I really wouldn't necessarily recommend personally. Same thing with Fred VanVleet, another one that I feel is just really, really weak. You can get away using him a little bit in the lower ranks, but really falls off to those Bs. I would definitely choose any one of these Bs over like Fred VanVleet or Rose. Same thing with Conley. Conley's another one that I'm putting in the C. Just really falls off in comparison to these other players. Next one we got is a legendary. This is the old man, Steph Curry. This one's going at the top for S. I think he's definitely way better than Damian Lillard. Next one we got is Luka. Luka's another one going towards the S. They're both kind of neck and neck. They both are like good in certain aspects. I would say they're probably like, I would rank both of them the same. I would say that Luka and Dame is, they're pretty close. Maybe give the edge to Luka slightly for the passing skills when they will come in handy later on once we get those updates. Next one we got is Trae Young. Now Trae Young is one that I think people could argue with and say he's like an S. I'm gonna put him in the A. I'm gonna put him as like an A+ for me. You could say he's like an S-, A+. Next one we got is Kyrie Irving. Now I think he's like by far the best epic point guard that we have. Really just an amazing player. He's another one though who is really weak on the defensive stance, where he's really not going to offer you a lot of value when it comes to defense, but you're going to get lots of just jumpers. Like you're going to hit all your jumpers and laying it up, driving, dribble, pass. Putting Kyrie in the S. I think he is like towards the back though, because I don't think Kyrie's better than Damian Lillard or Luka or Steph. I would say Trae Young and Kyrie are kind of the same. They're really close, in their aspect, because they're both just really good shooters, and that's it. They're really not good at anything else. Next one we got is Ja, aka John Wick, Ja Morant. I'm gonna put him in A. I think he's good for driving, hard to defend with his dunking ability, pretty solid mid-range. But it's more so about just driving and dunking on people. It's hard to defend his dunk. It's hard to kind of block it. Definitely think he's kind of like up there with better than the rookie Curry, better than the LaMelo Ball. Tough to say if he's better than Gilgeous-Alexander. It's kind of close. I would probably maybe favor SGA over him just because of his like shooting ability and stuff. He's also pretty weak on defense, Ja Morant. Next one we got is Jamal Murray. Now I think he's actually an amazing one. Definitely one that's tougher to get in this game, but I like his specific exclusive and his dominance. He's also really good for shooting. 3 points great, mid-range almost 700 points. Another one that's like not that great for defense, but like his defensive stat is average, but stealing and blocking, you're not going to be getting anything from there. Overall, I think he's definitely an A for me. I would say he's better than these ones, better than Rookie Curry and Ball, and close to being better than Ja Morant. I would probably even say he is better than Ja Morant. You could even say he's close to being better than SGA. He's like one that's in this weird predicament. He's not quite an A+, but you could give him an A+, close to it. Next one we got is Kyle Lowry. This one, very weak. Really doesn't bring too much to the table. You could use him for a little bit when you start as a new player in lower ranks, but definitely not going to get much value from him. And finally, Rubio, another one who is towards the bottom at the C. All right, my friends, that is it. My full tier list for the point guards in NBA Infinite. We're going to be doing the shooting guards next. Probably tomorrow. We'll have one for each different position throughout this week. Stay happy, stay safe. I'll see y'all later. Peace.